Hi, I'm Patrick Harders. I'm one of the co-founders of Sterling Lighting, and this is one of the first fixtures, if not the very first fixture that we designed. A lot of people, when they look at this fixture, they look at it and they think it looks a lot like other fixtures they have seen before. This is a totally different light. I'll go over all the differences because many times we'll tell people the difference, we'll send them cut sheets, but once they actually open it up and get to see what we've done different, they're very surprised at what we've been able to accomplish with this light. We went with a 10-foot wire lead. You typically see different sizes. Usually you see an 18-inch wire lead, which is a complete pain to work with. You're making a connection at every single fixture. It slows down the installation, and I always look at every connection as being a possible weak point. The other size you see a lot of is a 20-foot wire lead. Problem with a 20-foot wire lead is just too long. Most of the time we're cutting most of that and throwing it away. On our standard stem, we use a 3-inch ABS stake. I don't put a slot in it. They do create a weak point, and most of the time when somebody has a slotted stake, that's where the fixture breaks off when somebody bumps it. We use what we call a bug plug in this fixture. This is a rubber gasket that makes certain that no bugs, insects, or moisture ever comes up into the fixture. We also design the fixture so that we put a connection inside of the fixture. Many times you'll see a heat shrink connector outside of the fixture, just asking for more trouble. We do a crimp connection, and then we also heat shrink it together. This is one of our innovations that we love that makes the fixture a lot stronger. This is the bolt that goes all the way through the fixture. If anybody has been working in the lighting industry, they know that that's the weak point of the fixture. With this fixture, if somebody hits it really hard, they may break that bolt off. It's going to take some work, but simply pull the bolt off, put a new bolt on, the fixture's good as new. The material we use for the fixture, it looks similar to other lights, but most fixtures out there are made with recycled brass. That seems like a great thing for the environment to use recycled brass, but I've been to many of the factories and it's surprising what you see going into that recycled brass. That's why you have a lot of impurities in the fixture. If you ever look at a lot of the lighting fixtures out there over time, they start to gray out or fade. It's typically impurities in the metal coming out or leaching their way out, similar to what you see in stonework. So we use a virgin, higher grade brass that's simply not going to leach like the other fixtures. It doesn't have the impurities in it. And so it's just a stronger, heavier brass, and it also does better in the coastal environments. This is one of the great accomplishments that we achieved, was designing a dedicated LED that's easier to change out than a drop-in light bulb, but allows the proper heat sinking that you want on an LED. The biggest issues LEDs have is heat and moisture. We never want to get moisture around the LED. We also always want to be drawing the heat away from the LED. Our cup, it's a single source LED. This gives us greater lux control. It allows us to control the beam spread and put it exactly where we want. Most companies are using 4, 5, 6, 7 different LEDs. They're crisscrossing the optics and they're trying to create the beam spread that they like. We use a high power single chip. One of the patents we have for this is the power that goes into this chip. We actually take a 12-volt AC input of electricity into this and we bump it up to 39 volts DC. It's a high power commercial grade LED chip. We're now using the Cree CXB, which gives us anywhere from 200 lumens to 850 lumens in the same fixture. This optic is a 40-degree optic that comes standard with our fixtures. We have our option to go to a 15-degree, a 25, a 40, a 60. In order to change the LED, if one were to ever go out, which we have an incredibly low failure rate on these light fixtures, but if an LED were to ever go out, it's simply unplug it, plug a new one in, and you're ready to go. We've also separated the electrical components, the driver, from the cup. Typically one goes bad or the other, and rather than replacing all the different components, simply just replace the one that is having any trouble. One of the great features is simply how we adjust the LEDs, the brightness. We looked into dimming, we looked into all these different ways to do it, and we found most of the time, 99.9% of the time, once we set a light at the brightness that the customer likes, we simply set it and forget it. We may come back 4, 5, 6 years later and brighten it up, and that's simply as easy as pushing one of these buttons down. And the customer says it's too bright or not bright enough, it's simply adjusting the brightness level of this LED and customizing it to the exact brightness they want. Back in the old light bulb days, I would have to go out and change out every single light bulb. Now it's just a flip of a switch. The best uplight on the market today, and for the cost, It's a great value that you're able to provide to your customers. This fixture helps me locally sell jobs because it's a premium grade quality fixture that offers the most innovative technology at a great price.